Hi everyone, it's your boy We Do Vids in the house. Actually, no, I'm not We Do Vids, but I do miss Waleed. I miss his YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm your friendly ex-Muslim, and what do we have today? Today, I wanted to discuss an ad by Penny Appeal. Let me show you what it is. So here we have Penny Appeal. This Ramadan, come together to sponsor a Hifz Orphan. So one of my good friends sent me this, and we were having a conversation about it. The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it to others, Bukhari. So let's come together to sponsor someone, an orphan, so someone that has no parents, or their parents have left them or died or abandoned them. Let's teach them Quran. Let's put them in a madrasa. Let's let them sit 24 hours a day. Well, not 24 hours a day, but let's put them in this environment where they sit all day. Alhamdulillah, Ameen, and where they get physically assaulted and beaten. And this is well known. This is well known in the Muslim community that this happens. In the following disturbing video, Brownie Sadi admits that it is a normal part of Quran memorization schools, i.e. madrasas all over the world, that they hit and beat children. He talks about it as if there's nothing wrong with this, that some of the kids even deserved this physical violence. Let me ask you, is this normal? No, it's not normal. Is this right? No, it's not. Check out what he has to say.
What is the most fucked up thing that your Duksi Ma'al has done to you that has scarred you?
Alright, so I was in Hifz for around 2.5 years, so if anyone has the right to speak on this, it's your boy. Alhamdulillah, all of my teachers were really nice and none of them did anything sus. Yes, they used to beat up kids, but that's pretty much a part of the Hifz process. I remember one time my Qari Sahib literally told me to hold down this kid just so he could beat him up, but not gonna lie, the kid did deserve it. And people used to get punished in all sorts of different ways. Some kids used to get beat up, some kids would have to stand up for 2 hours while holding the Quran. Some kids would get pencils squeezed in between their fingers, which hurts like hell, trust me, try it. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff is normal towards the Hifz process, and it happens pretty much all across the world. Now, my advice for people who want to put their children in Hifz would be this. Please do a severe and thorough background check on the teachers and the school. Because unfortunately, even though these are institutions of memorizing the Quran, sexual assault does happen. There have been many cases reported, many allegations, so please take everything your kid says seriously.
So if you want to keep your kids safe, keep them away from the Quran teachers. That's the lesson. This is the routine, and even if it wasn't the case that kids were beaten, even though the hadith says that it's okay to hit your children if they don't pray. So of course, if you can hit them for not praying, well, some people will take that to say that you can hit them for other reasons as well. But if you look at the ad and if you just think about it, like, isn't this a form of child abuse? How is this money being used well? You're taking someone that could definitely use some life skills, a child that has no one to take care of them, and you're gonna, I was gonna say brainwash them, but like basically give them this useless skill that's not going to help them in their life. Even from the Islamic perspective, wouldn't it be better to teach them some valuable skills, some math, science, English, or whatever language they speak? Teach them, how to use a computer, how to do budgeting, how to eventually grow into being financially independent, how to run a business. I mean, depending on the age, if they're little kids, then you start with the basics. But if they're older, like orphans could be 16, 15. You're going to take a 16-year-old and you're going to make them memorize the Quran. And that's what you want your money spent on? Like, really? Don't you think there's better things in life for them to do? Even if you were a believer, I would look at it as in terms of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where at the bottom you need safety and security, and at the top you have self-actualization. So wouldn't memorizing the Quran come under self-actualization? Something that's nice to have, not something you would, like put your kids in when they don't have anything else in life going for them? I mean, this is a sad thing. I even remember I interviewed an young man who was from a city in Africa where everybody memorizes the Quran, all the kids, and they actually prefer this to like sending the kids to university or something. And this young man, he actually did study, and he left his home and he went to university and he's studying to become a doctor. But like he had to work twice as hard to catch up because everything was against him. It's like
the way people are provided primarily over there is that a family member goes to a Western country and then just supports the rest of the family. That's basically how it is. Employment over there is incredibly low. I mean, the unemployment rate is high, right? And it's because people are not educated. If you go to the capital of this country, you have more people working in industries and people working in more or less regular jobs. But these rural areas, like I said, because of this idea that they need to learn the Quran and this is the first and foremost, their kids never opportunities are just cut off from them before they even see it, right? And that was the case. That was going to be the case for me, but my parents had enough sense to actually, I guess, realize that I won't be able to make anything of myself if I stay there, and that's why they brought me here. I'm thankful for them for that. But yeah, that's the case in a society where you have the Quran and Islam being prioritized. You have regular life. You have modern life as a sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice, regular things like jobs. You don't even get jobs. I mean, I can't tell you how many cousins and how many, uncles I have who they have no job. They're just sitting down at their house, just waiting for people to send them money,
Wow.
And that's how they have to live because they have no education. They have no education whatsoever. So they can't find a job. Or one of the most common things people do over there is that they become a tailor. So they just start sewing clothes, or they start becoming a merchant. They start just buying goods and reselling them, and they travel around the country just doing that. So because of the system and the way it's set up, it's holding that society back a lot from advancing.
The odds are stacked against a child that's forced to memorize the Quran. And I have family members that are, kids that are put in the Quran, in hifz, instead of like prioritizing the full-time school. They're put into full-time hifz. And it's seen like, yeah, they'll catch up on this school. Yeah, it's no big deal. This school, they'll have time for school. But, having a crown of light on the day of judgment and intercession for 7 of your family members and whatnot, respect in the community and leading the Taraweeh prayer in Ramadan, that's what's really important, right? Like, obviously, I know some ex-Muslims that are Hafiz as well, and most of them regret memorizing the Quran. I mean, all that effort put into memorizing the Quran for what? Right? So, I mean, obviously, if you're Muslim, you may not regret it to the same extent because you might even be proud of the fact that you memorize the Quran, as useless as it is, right? It is basically your religious text. So, but like, isn't the fact that people memorize it an artifact of the fact that it came about in an era that will, in a place more particularly, not even an era, in a locale that wasn't literate, so they had to memorize. I mean, if this was like a society of writing, a society of literature, well, why would you emphasize this memorizing so much? You wouldn't need to, because it would be written down and you can just look it up. You can read from the book. You don't need to memorize. But because Muhammad's companions and his society couldn't read and write, this is the only way to protect the book. That's the only way, because, well, what else do you do? Like, you got the scraps of Quran here and there on shoulder bones and this and that, and it's not even like consistent, and so I mean, this is the best way, right? And even then, we see a lot of again, artifacts in the actual text that show that it's there's been problems with this preservation, holes in the narrative ring a bell. That's exactly what it is. But like, look at this. Like, this is the priority of the Muslim Ummah. Really? Like, come on. Like, this is pathetic. Like, this would be like a church saying, donate so we can, give Bibles to orphans or something, like a Bible study for orphans. Like, what the hell? Like, imagine Christians did that. It would be like, yo, what's wrong with you guys? You're gonna do Bible study? Yeah, let's learn about Jonah and Noah's Ark for orphans that don't have anyone, like, don't have any life skills or anyone to protect them. Like, teach them skills that'll help them. Do something for them to make their lives better, and then maybe religion can be something on the side that enriches their life. But like, really, like, you want to put money into this and giving, and also this donate, please donate to give away Quran. The Ramadan donate fest is over, right? Like, it's like, a constant appeal, especially in the last 10 nights. Please donate, please donate, please donate, because you get 70 times the reward. So $10 times 70, $700. It counts as a $700 donation. And so I have another video I want to talk about heaven, and how this actually doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that in another episode. For now, this is all I want to talk about, just the ridiculousness of this donation appeal to teach orphans to memorize the Quran. Like, really? That's all I have to say today. Thanks for watching, and this is your friendly ex-Muslim signing out.